Hi, everybody. This is Liz Jennings, Employer Engagement Specialist with CareerForce. I'm welcoming you all to the virtual Career Fair today, Monday, June 29th, 2020. As we get started, please sign in. I've put a link to a form in the Q&A area. The Q&A is the little question mark. Please open that up. Maybe you can copy that and opens it up into a new window in your browser. And just give me your first, last name, and your zip code. This is just like if we walked into a auditorium and I had you sign your name on a sheet of paper that you've attended. We use this to record our attendance in minnesotaworks.net. We'll begin in 30 seconds, just giving a few more people the chance to sign in. If you have problems opening up that form, you certainly can simply put your name and your first and last name and your zip code into the Q&A area. We won't publish them publicly, but we will record that you've attended this if that form doesn't work. So we're going to go ahead, officially start. Welcome to the virtual career fair on Monday, June 29th, 2020. We're doing this in partnership with Educate Minnesota today. Before we really get started, you can type in your questions in the Q&A box. The Q&A is that little question mark in the little box up at the top. You can turn on subtitles in English or any number of languages. There's a little CC button down at the bottom, and then you can choose your language in the gear icon. And as I just mentioned, please sign in with your name and zip code in the attendance form that I've posted the link to in the Q&A area. Today, we're so happy to welcome Educate Minnesota, which is a coalition of schools that work together to hire people to work in the public school systems. I also have joining me my colleague Stephen Kolzinski from CareerForce Bloomington. Stephen is going to be helping me behind the scenes with the Q&A and reading questions as the hour progresses. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you.
The companies or the organizations joining us today are Northeast Metro 916 Intermediate School District, Owatonna Public Schools, Lakes International Language Academy, Hiawatha Academies, and Anoka-Hennepin Public Schools. I would first like to welcome Chris Hain, Director of Educate Minnesota. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Liz. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. It's good of you to come this morning. Educate Minnesota, as Liz has said, is a coalition of public schools from around the state that have come together to attract talented people to meet the current and future staffing needs for the benefit of students and school communities. Simply put, Educate Minnesota is K-12 public schools working together to attract job seekers. Liz, next. So I want you to consider the idea that working in a public school can be amazingly rewarding as an experience for you. Here's why. First, consider location. You're almost certain to have at least one public school site within a 15-minute drive of your home, no matter where you are in Minnesota. Within the Twin Cities, nearly all schools are accessible by public transportation. Second is stability. Schools tend to have regular and predictable budgets and operations. Because of this, jobs don't unexpectedly change. Also, schedules are stable and very few school jobs involve working nights, weekends, or unexpectedly having to cover shifts. Third are the benefits. For full-time employment, the medical, dental, and mental health benefits tend to be better than what you would find in the private sector. Many positions in schools are 9 months, meaning that you can have the summer months off. although there are positions that go year-round. Finally, and most importantly, the reason that working in schools can be such a rewarding experience is the feeling of purpose or meaning that comes from working with kids. If there's one piece of advice that I can offer to anyone interviewing for a job with a school, make sure you get the opportunity to talk about what children mean to you. Liz, next please. As our school administrators will share throughout this presentation, there are a number of different types of jobs that schools offer. It's not only working in the classroom. On the left-hand side of this slide, you can see a list of jobs that usually do not require any advanced degree, special licensing, or certification. On the right-hand side are jobs that do require college degree and additional certification. One thing to know is that many schools offer pathways that help their high-performing talent move up into higher paying and more fulfilling positions. If you are interviewing with a school, ask about the career pathway that is available for the job to which you are applying and other support that that school system offers to people who want to advance within the schools. Liz, next please. Finally, understand that K-12 schools are an important part of the Minnesota economy. Around 125,000 Minnesotans are employed by a public school. About 40% of these jobs do not require any advanced certification. Around the state, there are 3,000 public school sites, over 3,000 public school sites, and a majority of these are located within the Twin Cities area metro. But remember that every part of the state is within the boundaries of some school district. Now, I also want to mention here that we're going to be hearing from charter schools. It's important for you to know that charter schools are in fact public schools. So know that whether it's a charter school, an intermediate school district, a special education cooperative, or an independent school district that's local to your community, these are all public K-12 schools for Minnesota. Now, towards the bottom of this slide, you can see what is a schedule of peak hiring. The typical hiring schedule for schools, it depends on the type of job that is being hired for. Licensed educator jobs are typically filled in the spring and early summer months, with the peak occurring in May. For jobs not requiring an educator license, the peak hiring time is typically in the summer, leading up to the beginning of the school year. So now, in July, these will be the times that schools are busiest with finding their hires for these non-certified positions. Now, there tends to be much more hiring throughout all times of the year for positions that do not require any sort of advanced degree. So 2020 has been an unusual year. School operations have been interrupted because of COVID-19 pandemic. And if you have school-aged children, you may already have heard that it's not clear what the schedules will be when school starts this fall. Schools are also uncertain at this point. They're waiting for the state to provide better instruction at the end of July. So what that means is that some job offers that schools are making now are going to be contingent on school operations this fall. So if you do apply or interview with a school, make sure that you ask what their communication plan is when plans become clearer about school opening in the fall. We'll get ready to move to our first employer presentation. And let me ask you just to remain curious about getting a job with a school. To kick things off, we will see a short video from Northeast Metro Intermediate District 916. This does a great job of showing what it's like to work to support students directly through their programs. Liz, go ahead. It looks like we're having a bit of trouble with the audio coming through at this point in time. Liz, perhaps you can adjust the settings there, or we may just have to skip this part.
Yeah, if you can't hear it, then we'll just have to skip it because the sound comes through my computer, but yeah. But, you know, we have the Vimeo link. We'll send that out to all of the people on the call afterwards, so you can watch it on your own devices, and you can take the number down here too and watch it. So sorry that, yeah, Teams is working on getting their video playing to work, and it doesn't always.
Quite all right. Well, let's move on to Jenny Stafke from 916.
Good
Oops.
morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. As Chris mentioned, my name is Jenny Stafke, and I'm the Talent Acquisition Coordinator at Northeast Metro 916 Intermediate School District. We are one of 4 intermediate school districts in the state of Minnesota. We provide cost-effective educational services to 14 member school districts. 916 focuses on 4 main areas of education, which include Area Learning Centers, or ALCs, where we work with students in grades 9 through 12 who have not experienced success in a traditional school setting. We provide them with individualized education that allows them to complete their diploma. Our district is also partnered with mental health providers to support students in a care and treatment setting where we provide the educational supports while students are getting their mental health needs met. 916 also has a career and technical education center located in Century College where we support high school students to start taking some of those introductory courses into fields such as automotive, cosmetology, law enforcement, and medical careers. Our special education program supports students who have autism spectrum disorder, ASD, developmental cognitive disabilities, DCD, and emotional behavior disorders in a federal setting 4 program. Next slide, please. We are currently hiring for special education assistants to work in one of our 5 different programs. These individuals are responsible for supporting students in their academic career by helping them to regulate their bodies and emotions through positive and consistent redirection and praise. 916 provides additional training for our staff, which includes professional crisis management, PCM, to focus on de-escalation techniques. If a student is in crisis and needs to be physically transported or restrained, the training will ensure the safety of the student and staff member. We also provide trauma-informed practices to help our staff understand the impact of how trauma experiences can affect our students' ability to process in situations and can potentially create barriers to their education. For staff working with younger students, we provide teacher-child interaction training, TCIT, which is focused on positive engagement. In the classroom, I often hear feedback such as, "Thank you for sitting with quiet hands. I like how you're waiting patiently for your turn." Students then are given tickets that they can turn in for rewards later. Our education assistance specialists need to be considered highly qualified, meaning that an individual has either completed 60 post-secondary education credits or can pass the Parapro exam, which would be administered by 916. The starting salary for these positions is $19.75 an hour, and shifts are either 6.5 hours or 7 hours per day, depending on the program, and would work 183 days out of the year. We do offer a Pathway to Licensure program for education assistants who currently have their bachelor's degree and are interested in pursuing a teaching degree. Next slide, please. If you're passionate about working with students who have unique learning needs and would like to know more about our programs, I would love to chat with you at 11:30 a.m. via the Google Meet information that was provided to you by the CareerForce. If you're available, I will be there from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. to answer any questions that you have. You also received in that email my email address and my phone number if you'd like to give me a call or shoot me an email. I would be more than happy to talk a little bit more about our district and the positions. You can also apply directly on our district website, www.916schools.org, under Careers, and apply now. If you're interested in viewing our full contract and benefits for our education assistants, you can also view that information under Careers, contracts and benefits, education assistance. If you're not quite sure if we're a good fit for you, you can also substitute as an education assistant in one of our programs by applying to Teachers on Call. We use all of them. We use substitutes in our programs when we have staff members that are out or to fill vacancies for positions we haven't been able to fill. You can visit their website, www.teachersoncall.com, and then let them know that you were referred by 916. You can pick up shifts at between 32.5 to 50 hours per week. We typically have a consistent amount of shifts available. Don't forget to check out Educate Minnesota that Chris talked about. You can view a variety of different positions in education, including open positions at 916 as well. Thank you for your time. What questions do you have?
Stephen, what questions are coming in that we
Sorry,
can...
I had to unmute myself.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
we've had a few questions here already. Got somebody who would like to know about opportunities in the communications department.
Yep, and all of our open positions can be found on our website by going to 916schools.org and then going under careers and apply now. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't have any openings in our communications department.
And another person talking about the safety, security, other positions in that.
Unfortunately, we don't have any positions in safety or security.
Okay. And
You know, my question around that, though, you know, if there are positions kind of like in operations or, you know, administration, are those come up in the same way, you know, like on your careers page, or do you need to get hired maybe in a assistant position and then get into an internal hiring basis?
So majority of our positions do end up getting posted externally for some of those administrative positions. At this time, we aren't hiring for any of those. All of our available positions can be found under careers and apply now.
Sure, good. Okay, that's helpful to know that the majority of those types of positions are externally posted. Yes, there another, go ahead.
oh, I was going to say that kind of answers the other question that's sitting here. So
good.
And our site does allow for individuals to be notified when there are openings in areas that they are interested in. If they go in, look at a position and do apply, and then it'll bring them into the applicant tracking system where they can set up a login and then can indicate any preferences that they have. And again, I'm more than happy to walk anyone through that process if they have questions after this.
Good, thank you. Let's move ahead and welcome Owatonna Public Schools. We have Chris Pica, Cheryl Summer, and I believe is Mallory Herman on the line too with us.
Good morning. This is Chris Pica. I'm currently the Director of Human Resources in Owatonna, Minnesota, and I want to thank you for joining us today. When we think of Owatonna, the one thing that always comes up, whether you Google us or look in Twitter, we're always hashtag Owatonna Proud, and our mission statement is inspiring excellence, every learner, every day. And for learner, that means adults and students. The two things that I think about, or that we talk a lot about in Owatonna, are relationships, building relationships, maintaining relationships between students and students, students and adults and adults and adults. And also we have a big focus on equity. And when you look at our core values, you can see that. Our core values are build and nurturing relationships, developing and maintaining a growth mindset, and challenging the status quo. If you don't know where Owatonna is, we are in actually a great location. We're south of the Twin Cities on Highway 35W, and then going east to west, it's Highway 14. And so we're directly south, about 45 minutes from the Twin Cities, directly east of Mankato, about 45 minutes, and directly west of Rochester in 45 minutes, so a great location. Owatonna we have about 28,000 people. We have a lot of industry. We are home of Daikin and Federated Insurance and Viricon and Wenger. So we do have a lot of other businesses. So if you're thinking about positions or even relocating to Owatonna, there are good places of employment also for if you have a spouse or significant other. We're a growing city. We'll be adding a Costco warehouse this summer, and also a few businesses are coming to Owatonna to relocate their business and grow. So again, a great city to think about relocating to. Owatonna has a lot of city parks, beautiful park system. We have a great park and recreation department, theater and art center, and we're continuing to rebuild our downtown. We have a very supportive community in Owatonna. A few of our private businesses donated $22 million to help build our new high school, which will be done in the fall of 2023. And we're also part of the Mayo Health System. If you look at the demographics of our kids, we have about 5,000 students, about 25% diversity. We have about a 15% population with students that receive special education services, and about 9% of our student body receive EL services. Kids are first in everything we do, and we have 4 commitments that we make. We make a commitment to 21st century learners, or academics and the 4 C's of communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking are skills that we work on with our students. Safe and caring community. 3rd, equity, to ensure that all students and staff have access to educational opportunities and a culturally competent environment. And we also have a commitment to increase our staff of color to help better represent our student body. And then 4th is our high quality teaching and learning. As employees of Owatonna, we are all educators. We consider us all educators. With collaborative learning, continuous learning is the key. And so we do provide a lot of professional development, not just for our certified staff, but for our non-certified staff, whether it's in cultural competence, in equity, in technical skills, technology skills, sorry. And we are always looking to hire the best. And next, we will go on to Mallory for what we're hiring for.
Yeah, so in Owatonna, we have a number of positions we are planning to hire for the upcoming school year. Some might not be posted at this time, but we do plan to either post or hire throughout the next month, so throughout July, August. We do have some custodians that we are hiring for. These might be first or second shift custodians who are responsible for cleaning our buildings, basic maintenance, and groundwork when needed. We also are going to be hiring some nutrition services staff. These employees are in our kitchens helping prepare, cook, and serve meals to our students. We are planning to have available around 1 or 2 positions for the upcoming year. We have SAC program assistants available. These employees are working our before and after school programs. They are part-time positions and working either before or the after school hours. We also have a secretary position in our community education building, and this position is really the person that keeps the wheels moving in our community education program and providing customer service in a fast-paced environment. We are going to have a number of special ed paraprofessionals positions available, and these positions are assisting classroom teachers with performing duties necessary to meet the educational, personal, physical, and behavioral needs of an individual, or might even be a group of special education students. We also have an early childhood educational assistant position, and they are also assisting our teachers in our school readiness program, so would mainly be working with our preschool age students. I also want to add that these positions that we've listed all require a high school diploma. And like I stated before, they might not be posted yet, but keep an eye out. They might be posted in July or early August.
Yeah. Yep. Next. Next, just a couple comments on our career pathways. As you can see, there's various career pathways. You can move from cook cashier to head cook to nutrition services supervisor. Custodial, you could get licensure and certification and move into the maintenance department. Certifications such as boilers licenses or pool certification, and then or a supervisor position. Similar to 916, we have a program for our paraprofessionals that we've worked with a few of our local universities of moving some of our paraprofessionals with a 4-year degree into teaching positions. It's worked out really well. I think we have 3 or 4 that are working through the process, going through it that way. Educational assistants, doing the same thing. You could go from educational assistant to secretary, or educational assistant to paraprofessional or secretary. We do also have a Grow Your Own. We just received a Grow Your Own grant for our students. And we're partnering with a college where they can earn college credits while they're in high school, partner with the college and university, and then become a teacher. And in between, a lot of times those students either become avid tutors within the system or paraprofessionals while they're going to school. So in school districts, we have about 950 employees, so there is ample opportunity to move. And next, you'll hear from Cheryl Summer. Cheryl, did you unmute yourself? Do you want to go through the college or the careers?
Yeah, so if our contact information is listed there, and the similar as District 916. You just go to our career tab, view our open positions, and you'll be able to view all of our open positions. Our emails are there and our phone numbers, so feel free to give us a call if you have any questions.
Great, and we've provided the Google Meet link too in the Q&A area. And there again, at 11:30, if any of you on the call want to talk more with the team from Owatonna, click on that Google Meet information or just send them an email. I don't see any questions come in. Stephen, is there any other question that you're aware of?
I didn't see any, but I did notice your comment to sign in if you haven't already done so.
Right, yeah, for any new attendees, just get that in. Okay, anything else, Chris, you want to add, Chris Pika, about Owatonna?
Just that, if you really believe in all of our kids, not, whether it's Owatonna or some other district, a school district is a great place to work. Kids should be first in everything that you do. If you plan on working in a school, have a growth mindset, build positive relationships, and have joy in your work.
Right. Excellent. Yeah, it goes with everything, doesn't it? Thank you for participating today.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to welcome Shirley Volk of Lakes International Language Academy. Welcome, Shirley.
Hi, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to share about Lakes International Language Academy, also known as LILA. LILA mission statement is we prepare tomorrow's critical thinkers and global citizens through language acquisition and inquiry study. Next page. LILA is a kinder prep through 12th grade public school in Forest Lake. So we are conveniently located where the two Interstates 35 EW both meet, so that's very convenient. We are an IB school, also known as International Baccalaureate. We have 2 immersion programs, so our kindergartners are fully immersed in either the Spanish language or Mandarin Chinese language. We very much welcome and embrace culture because we are an international school. That is very much at the core of who we are. We value languages and experiences. So it's very fun to just kind of hear when students get to that first grade, second grade, where they're almost fluent in those languages. So it's very fun in that sense. We also use responsive classroom for our social skills, behavior, character building curriculum, which really helps students blossom to kind of become those thinkers. Our mission or our active action statement is think for myself, think about others, and think beyond today. We really try to create students that will contribute to society. We focus on with our students that they have a choice, they get to act, and then we want them to reflect to see if they made the right choice. What could they do differently? And just to become a well-rounded person. Our community is absolutely amazing. Because we are an international school, we have so many things to offer students and offer our staff that really can include just like Chinese New Year, Three Kings Day, just all the things that we can come together and celebrate. So we are a very strong community. And last, the opportunities for students and staff is quite impressive. Obviously, because of COVID-19, we've had to put a few of these on hold, but many times you'll see students come from Spain in our school learning. We'll send students to Spain for learning in that school system. Same with China. We have kids kind of going back and forth. We have opportunities to host other students and language ambassadors. There's opportunities for our staff to travel and chaperone or even go and learn about different cultures. So there's many opportunities within Lakes International Language Academy. As you see on the next slide, we have multiple positions, and I organized them based on the language because we are a language school. So we have multiple positions for English speakers, for Spanish speakers, and Mandarin Chinese speakers. These positions include licensed areas. So if you have a 4-year degree in biology and wanting to teach high school, we are the place for you. If you don't have a 4-year degree and want to just work with students and work in such a unique environment, we have school-age care needs, we have recess needs. There's lots of opportunities for anyone to work in our school. I do want to kind of repeat what Chris said, and just due to unsure of what the fall will look like, want to encourage people to continue to look at our opens because we don't know what's going to happen. We could decide in September or October, like, oh, we need this position and we've never had it before. So check us out because there's always different opportunities. Our next slide shows how to apply at LELA. So you'll see on our website, which is mylela.org, up in the right-hand corner, we have a link for employment. Then if you go to the next slide, it shows our employment opportunities. And as you will see, we have a spot for our current openings and an area just to link there. So click on that part. And then our next slide shows that we use Frontline. So you can look at all of our open positions, and then the ability to apply is right on that slide. That's everything I have about the wonderful school LELA is. Are there any questions?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself again here. We have some people asking about teachers on call. Do you use those services?
No, we do not. We hire our own substitutes. We do training for our substitutes, showing about our school, letting people sit in on classrooms and just training them about some of our social skills and behavior program. So we don't use those agencies. We hire our own substitutes. So if you even want to see what our school is like, sign up to be a sub. We do quality training with all of our substitutes, and we do pay for our training. So it is a great opportunity just to learn about our school and see if we are a good fit for you.
And that kind of answered the next question, talking about certification and paying for that.
Yes, we do train.
Another question is, a person recently acquired a short call sub-teaching license with no experience. They're looking for part-time. Got communications, art, literature.
Yes, we always have part-time and full-time positions. We are a very creative school, so we work with what is best for students. And that does require some part-time positions, some full-time positions. If they are interested and they don't see a part-time position posted, apply for that full-time position and let them know in the interview that you're looking for part-time. We are open to those things because we're looking for the best quality people for our students because we are so unique.
And are the teaching materials translated? Are Spanish teachers required to be native speakers?
No. Many of our teachers are people who have a background in Spanish or have lived in different countries or even in Mandarin Chinese. We have a number of teachers where that language was not their native language, but they got, a bachelor's in Spanish or a bachelor's in Mandarin Chinese or have lived in those countries. So you don't have to be a native speaker. And some of our positions, as I shared, aren't all in that target language. Some are in English. So we don't ever want people to be fearful of, I don't know the language. That's okay. We'll help you.
Got a question here about elementary teaching positions in English.
Our elementary, because we are full immersion, do not have any elementary teaching positions in English. However, there are multiple opportunities to give in that area. So maybe it's an unlicensed position or maybe it's in special education. We do have some of those opportunities at that level, but not a direct in the classroom elementary teacher.
Thank you. All of those questions are really good, and I know some of our presenters are going to answer some of these questions in the Q&A area directly. Thank you very much, Shirley, for being here today. And Mylila is definitely a very unique school. So thank you. Let's go on to Hiawatha Academies. Michelle Dyer is joining us today. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, I'm really excited to share a little bit more about Hiawatha Academies and the work that we do here. So to get started, I can share a bit about myself and what brought me to Hiawatha Academies. I taught elementary school for 5 years in the Twin Cities. And when I was looking to step outside of my role, I was looking for an organization that had an explicit commitment to equitable outcomes for kids and families of color while maintaining really high standards around rigor and academic excellence for kids as well. So you can hit the next slide. The vast majority of our students identify as students of color, and in turn, we need to make sure that we are providing resources and opportunities for our students to flourish. So our equity vision reads, to honor the humanity of all people, we actively disrupt systemic inequity in pursuit of an equitable world. And at Hiawatha Academies, we believe in permanently disrupting educational inequity by ensuring a great school for every child. We're a network of public charter schools located in South Minneapolis. We have 2 elementary campuses, 2 middle school campuses, and a high school. And our mission is that all Hiawatha Academy scholars will be empowered with the knowledge, character, and leadership skills to graduate from college and serve the common good. About 43% of our staff members identify as people of color. And we hope and are continuously working around creating an environment where our staff can grow as leaders as well. Next. Our goal at Hiawatha Academies is that 100% of Hiawatha scholars will graduate high school truly college ready. And we graduated our 2nd class of seniors last year. We reached 100% college acceptance, and over $6 million in scholarships. But we know that we haven't fully reached our goal in ensuring that every single one of our students is able to be successful in whatever their post-high school goals are. We believe that Hiawatha Academies is a place where you can reflect and improve and grow as a leader, and that's if you are a paraprofessional or a paraeducator, a teacher, a dean, or a principal. For some of our unlicensed positions, we have paraeducators, student behavior specialists, facilities staff, and at our network support team, we have interpreters, operations staff, finance, and human resources. Teachers and staff receive weekly coaching, which has transformed my experience working in schools. I have a really great relationship with my coach and my manager, and that's because we debrief and we reflect weekly on the work that I'm doing. We also have weekly professional development, summer professional development, and you'll also have access to these benefits as well. An 8-week summer vacation, health, dental, and vision insurance if you work above 30 hours, access to an FSA, a 403B, and then retirement contributions as well. Next. So for the roles that we are currently hiring for at this time, we have a 6th grade math teacher position that's open and a student support manager position, which supports students that receive special education services. We begin our hiring a bit earlier than some of our peer schools. So if you're interested in roles for the upcoming school year, so 2021 to 2022, we will always have introductory perspective calls or start our hiring even around November, December. So we have K-6 roles, 5-8, 9-12, student support, and network support team as well. For some of our career pathways, if you have a bachelor's or associate's degree or in the process of receiving one, we can work with you to join us at Hiawatha Academies in various roles. And many of our paraeducators have become teachers within our network. And it's a really great way to learn the Hiawatha way and be successful as a teacher. You can also sign up at our website, which is here at hiawathaAcademies.org/careers. And you can sign up for our career interest form, where we'll make sure to reach out to you if anything comes up that you would be a good fit for. We also work with teachers on call. So if you're interested in working as a substitute teacher and have an interest in Hiawatha Academies, you can join us that way. And we've also hired teachers that we've worked with previously from Teachers on Call. You can reach out to me at mdyer@hiawathaAcademies.org if you have any other questions, but I'd love to take the time now to answer any questions that you may have.
There was one question coming in. Someone said that they're a Texas certified fine arts teacher, EC through early childhood through 12th grade, looking for a job opportunity in Minnesota area. Is it possible to hire someone who has teacher certification from a different state while they're working on getting their Minnesota licensure?
Yeah, so Minnesota recently implemented a tiered licensure system. So tiers 1 through tier 4. Tiers 3 and tier 4 are your traditionally licensed teachers in the state of Minnesota. Tier 1 and tier 2 teachers we've worked with in the past. These might be teachers who are fully licensed out of state or prospective teachers that do not have a license but have a content area background. So we've worked with out-of-state teachers as they work to transfer their license but don't currently hold one in Minnesota. If you hold an out-of-state license, it's a little bit easier for us to work with you on that process.
Good, thank you.
Will student support require a license?
Student support manager requires a special education license, but our student behavior specialists do not require a license and do not require a college degree.
Do you know how substitute teaching will look if kids are doing distance learning?
I'm not sure exactly what that will look like. That's a really great question, and I believe our network is figuring that out. But I do know that we always like to interact. If we hire in-house substitute teachers or if we interview people for that role, we're sometimes able to find other positions for them as we figure out what the year will look like.
That's great. Thank you very much, Michelle, for joining us today. Hiawatha Academies has such an interesting model and goal for student success, so it's really great to hear. I'd like to move ahead now to Anoka-Hennepin Public Schools. We have Julie Phillips joining us today. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Julie Phillips. I'm the Recruitment and Retention Specialist for Anoka-Hennepin School District. And you can go to the next slide. So Anoka-Hennepin School District is located about 20 to 25 minutes north of the Twin Cities. We serve 13 suburban communities, and they include Anoka, Coon Rapids, Blaine, Andover, Champlin, Brooklyn Park, and the surrounding communities. We are the largest school district in the state by student population. We have over 38,000 students. We are rapidly growing, especially in our area of students of color. Currently, we serve 37.5% of our students are students of color, and that is one of our priorities, is to continue to grow our staff and teachers of color to meet those, to represent our student population. We have over 8,000 employees, so again, making us a very large employer in our community, and also, again, one of the largest school districts in the state. Approximately 3,000 of those 8,000 are teachers, and the other 5,000 are administrative, support positions, operational positions, and those are a lot of the things I'll be talking about today. So the 47 buildings that we have over 20, we have 26 elementaries, 6 middle schools, 5 traditional high schools. We also have community ed, and special education is all taken care of in our own school district, and we have over 7,000 of our students that are served by our community ed department, or excuse me, our special education department. Let's go to our next slide. So our staffing priorities. We want to be the preferred employer of choice for teachers and also for those in the education field and those in our community for all of our operational positions. We want to hire high quality candidates to serve the students of our district, and we are committed to increasing our teachers and other staff of color. We also want to retain our employees, and we do this by offering growth opportunities and other pieces of our retention plan. So at the bottom of the slide, I just have kind of a how do we do that? Well, we have our Grow Your Own Teacher program, and I'll elaborate on that in one moment. We have career path opportunities in non-teaching roles. We have mentorship programs, training, professional development offered in all of our positions. And as the largest district, or as a very large district, we have lots of opportunities for lateral moves and advancement opportunities. So, you know, if you are maybe making a good match in your building, we have many other buildings. We have positions, so we have lead teachers, and then we have supervisors like of special education, and we have a director of special education. So there's lots of growth opportunities within the teaching ranks and also within our operational ranks, which I'll talk about in one moment. Let's go to our next slide. So here are a couple examples of our growth opportunities or career paths. You could start as a para or a teacher assistant, is what maybe some other people would call that. So you could start as that and become a teacher. We have some different partnerships with local universities that allow you to continue to work while you go to school to acquire your license in the evening. We have been the recipient of a Grow Your Own Teacher grant for the last 3 years. These grants provide funds directly to our employees that already have a bachelor degree in any major that want to become a licensed teacher. And we've been able to fully or partially fund individuals going through these programs. We just graduated our first cohort of 4 individuals. We have our second cohort of 8 individuals who are going into their second year of the program, and it's just a 2-year program. And we have 32 individuals that are currently paras with us or substitute teachers that will be going into their first year of a teacher licensure program. In addition to that, we have so many that are even unknown to me that have not come through a pathway that I've provided, but that they have created on their own. And we have many individuals that do not yet have their bachelor degree going through this route to become a teacher. We have a before and after school childcare. You could start as, even in high school, we have some individuals who do the child care assistant position. You can grow into becoming a site leader, a site coordinator, and a site or a program coordinator. Experience and then your education and training helps you to progress through that pathway. Same thing with our child nutrition assistant. That's our food service area. You can progress from part-time to full-time to assistant supervisor to supervisor. Again, experience and then getting the required food manager license. And then custodial, you could become a lead custodian and a building supervisor. We'll go to our next page. So current available positions. You know, I always like to say that Anoka-Hennepin has employment opportunities for everyone. We have positions for all educational levels, experience, backgrounds, your interest, and your schedule availability. We have part-time and full-time. We have evening hours. We have day schedule. We have early morning, late afternoon. We have something to fit everyone's needs. So currently, we have some positions on our website, but we have more that will be posted in July. As Chris said earlier, July and August are the biggest hiring for our operational positions, and that is very true of our district. Special education paras, no degree is required. You are paid higher if you have an associate's or a bachelor degree. We do prefer some experience, but we are willing to train you. Those positions will be posted mid-July. Substitute teachers. Any person with a bachelor degree is qualified in the state of Minnesota to get a short call sub-license. We take care of all of our own substitutes in-house. We are a large enough district that we can give you a position to substitute every single day. You don't need to jump around to other districts. So if you live in our community or you're close, get in and you can sub every day with us. Elementary and secondary paras, those are basically teacher assistants. Same thing with the bus assistant. We got food service. Those will be posted later this month. Also, we have a few posted today. We have custodial positions, before and after school childcare, evening security building, evening building security, after school enrichment instructors, middle school coaches. So all of the positions require a minimum of a high school diploma, with the exception of a substitute teacher does need a bachelor degree. And we have a couple, you could be a part-time custodian or a part-time before and after school childcare without a high school diploma. And the next slide. Next steps, I have our website here. It's very easy, ahschools.us/jobs. You can go there, you can view our positions, you can apply right from that site. We do post our positions throughout the year. We're continually hiring paras throughout the year. Just because September rolls around, as large of a district as we are, that does not mean that we're done hiring. We have natural attrition and more needs that come up during the year. So keep watching. We post positions every single week on Tuesday and Thursday normally. And I do have a notice on our website when you go to it that you can sign up for kind of reminders or notifications about positions that you're interested in. And I will be available after this at 11:30 today for a Google Meet, anyone that has additional questions. And I do have my email there also if you'd like to contact me but a lot of information is available on our website. You can just go out there and take a look today and continue to check weekly from here until school starts or until you find a position.
Good, thank you. Yeah, Stephen.
We do have a couple of questions. One about administrative or HR roles.
Yeah, we currently do not have any posted or available today, but we just never know when we're going to have a resignation or a retirement. I do have on the website under the notices that you can sign up to be notified about those types of positions, in addition to clerical and like finance type positions. So there's different categories for those, but as of today, we do not have any HR positions.
Do you recommend that a person take an entry-level position and then get into the internal system? Or, what percentage of your positions, your admin positions, do you post externally?
So all of our admin positions are posted externally. We do not post any internally.
Okay.
In some situations, knowing our district and knowing our system is an advantage. But it just depends on the position. We absolutely hire equal number of external. So it depends on the position, and I'd be happy to, answer more specifics maybe in the Google Meet or via email. It's getting in with teaching specifically to become a teacher. I think substitute teaching with us or taking a long-term sub role, getting that foot in the door and getting familiar with our district and getting known by principals is definitely an advantage. Taking a part-time secretary role, if you want a full-time secretary role to learn some of the systems, that's an advantage there. But in other roles, it really does not make any difference.
Great.
And
Thank
Chris
you very
put
much.
Up a couple of good links here for Anoka-Hennepin. One that you can go in and set up alerts to be notified. Sorry, Liz, I didn't mean to speak over you.
Nope, that's fine. Yeah, and I'll send out by this afternoon all of the positions, the job sites and contact information for the people who are on this call, so you can continue the conversation both at 11:30. I already sent you out all an email with that information with the Google Meets, and then I'll send you out follow information as well. But I do want to remind you about our upcoming virtual career fairs every Monday, and even next Monday, we're going to continue. It's loosely going to be kind of a transportation sort of theme. We'll have MnDOT here, Department of Transportation, McNeilus, DigiKey, and Thief River Falls First Student, which is, of course, aligned with the education world too, and Rockma Homes, which is a memory care facility who are looking for staff to join their work. And you never know, I might have one or two more companies on that call next week, so please sign up. This week we have job clubs online, we have interview skills workshops, and everything is posted on our virtual and interactive services for career seekers page. I also encourage you to go to the events page, because I'm noticing more and more external events that are taking place all across the state. Companies are starting to hold drive-through hiring events, tailgating, job fairs, online conversations, all sorts of really creative ways to getting the word out that they are hiring in your location. So if you have a question about that, you can certainly give me an email, send me an email, I'll help you with that. Contact your local CareerForce location or go to careerforcemn.com/events. And please, too, follow CareerForce on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Be sure to look for CareerForce MN for the correct channel. And here's my contact information too, liz.jennings@state.mn.us. Chris Hain, thank you very much for organizing this event this morning. Educate Minnesota, educatemn.org is always a resource. Can you say one more word about it?
Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes left, Liz. And I just want to thank you and all the work that the folks at the CareerForce offices and the central office and the branch offices do. You know, as has been echoed by some of our school presenters today, working in schools, it's really just a wonderful opportunity to connect with something that is meaningful. There are practical jobs that pay very well and offer a lot of flexibility in scheduling. So I just encourage you to reach out to some of the employers that have presented today. And if you do have other schools that you're interested in finding work with that perhaps are more close to you, if you check out educatemn.org, there's a career search there, and you can set up job alerts to receive emails when openings become available in your area. So thanks again, everybody, and with that, I'll sign off.
Right, good, thank you. Yeah, I did a search last week and it randomly looked at various cities around Minnesota, and I can say every single school district in the state had at least a couple of openings, depending on the size of the school district. So wherever you are living, there's probably an opening nearby. So thank you to everyone. Job seekers on the call, thank you all to the presenters. Best of luck in your job search and contact CareerForce for more help. Bye-bye.